It began as a distant dream, but Carl Barger's vision, purpose, and dedication helped turn the Florida Marlins into a reality.
It's great to be part of the National League, and
now we gotta go to work. Hey, let's go to work.
The Florida Marlins were for real, and soon enough, they would have a renovated home in Joe Robbie Stadium and a full-fledged Major League team. They'd finished the journey that Carl Barger started. Now and always, he remains an inspiration.
It's about time. Now's the time this town's going to really come to life. All my life, I've been waiting for baseball. How about that? I've been waiting for years. We've lived down here 25 years and hoped there'd be a big league team.
Let's go, Marlins!
Woo! Go Marlins! Yeah, go Marlins. We've been waiting a long time for this.
program, Dave, program right here. I've lived here most of my life, and I've been waiting for baseball to come here, and really glad to have the major leagues here finally.
Presenting the first year of the Florida Marlins, a great beginning. The spring of 1993 in Brevard County featured not only the usual Florida delights, but for the first time, the sights and sounds of a Major League Baseball team, going through the time-honored tradition of getting ready for the coming season.
This way is easier. The wind with us. Heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up, heads up. Oh, you all right? Sorry about that. Psych. Spring training. You gotta love it.
With a sense of newness everywhere, expectation was hanging in the spring air.
There was the excitement of the fact of not knowing what to expect. You have expectations of people that you've seen play before. We have not seen the majority of these people play other than Walter Weiss, Brian Harvey, and people like that. So we didn't have a tremendous amount of expectations of what these players were capable of doing. We had scouting reports, and of course this is all on black and white on paper, but as far as seeing them perform on the field was entirely different. So the excitement of starting something new, of seeing a child grow, is a similar type of starting an expansion club.
No one was more excited about the Marlins than the fans. This was a whole new generation growing up on Marlins baseball, and this was their team. And when it came time for the Marlins' first spring training game, the team pulled out all the stops. Jeff Conine hit a two-run homer in the Marlins' first ever game, and they went on to beat Houston 12-8, just the way it's supposed to be done at the old ball game. Heading south for their first ever opening day, the Marlins left Brevard County for Joe Robbie Stadium, which was now fully outfitted for baseball. Though the Marlins and their fans were more than ready for the event, the weather apparently wasn't.
It stormed so hard the night before, and I woke up about 5 in the morning, and it was raining and blowing, and I think we had winds that night of 60 or 70 miles an hour, and my wife said, "Don't worry, it'll be fine, it'll be fine."
I remember the first emotion I had that morning was when I woke up, it was raining. And I thought, not today. Let's not have rain today. And
the clouds finally broke an hour or so before the first pitch, and this brilliant, cleansing sunshine, drying up everything. It was such a perfect metaphor for the season to come for the Marlins, to see those clouds break open. It was almost as if Carl Barger was indeed looking over the whole proceeding of the day.
At that point, you almost can't even describe the feeling. It's a feeling that was so high and exhilarating for all of us.
Welcome to opening day. What excitement we have. Not just any opening day, but the opening day of one of the two new franchises, the Florida Marlins, and Joe Robbie Stadium here is packed.
Just coming into the ballpark and seeing the buzz, just driving into the place, you knew that something special was happening because the media, the TV trucks, just the excitement of having a brand new team here in South Florida, I think was just the neatest thing I've been a part of in baseball.
Sun-soaked Joe Robbie Stadium, the color teal all around, as the Florida Marlins take the field for the first time ever at home against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
However, the Marlins were not official members of the major leagues until their opening day baptism from Chris Berman.
The manager for the Marlins.
Don't walk away, Renee Latchman. Third base coach is Cookie, Days of Wine, and Rojas.
Leading off in center field, number 2, Scott Pose.
The only ones I've come up with so far are not great. Expose, suppose, strike oppose, not good enough. Same with Chuck Carr. I mean, there should be racing, renta, not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So we're holding back on those.
Batting second.
Brett put another shrimp on the Barbary at second base.
Hitting third and playing right field, number 47, Junior Felix.
Junior Felix doesn't really have one, although I was always a fan of his father, Senior Felix.
Batting fourth and playing first base, number 39.
Their big local hero here at first base, Orestes Emotionally Estrada. I guess I'm getting old.
Batting fifth and playing third base.
Dave Magana doesn't have one at third.
And doing the catching,
Benito Il Duce Santiago.
Batting seventh and playing left field, Jeff Conine.
Left field is a layup, Jeff Conine, the Barbarian.
Batting eighth, number 22.
Shortstop is Walt Three Blind Weiss.
Pitching today, number 49, feeling more like 45 these days, Charlie Huff.
The starting pitcher, Charlie Huff, has never had one in his career, so I'm not going to start now. But that's pretty good. There's a lot of them in there.
The Marlins were about to make history, and in memory of the man who guided them on their way, a moment of silence was held for Carl Barker. It was time for baseball, and the former Yankee great, Joltin' Joe DiMaggio, threw out the ceremonial first pitch.
45-year-old Charlie Huff beginning his 21st season in the major leagues.
I've pitched maybe a half a dozen other opening games. This one was the biggest one that I'd ever pitched, and I was kind of nervous going into it. But, it was just one of those things that I was very, very happy that they chose me to do it.
And mark it down. First pitch was a strike. First pitch at 212.
A knuckleball.
The first pitch, surprise, was a knuckleball.
Opening day, like Charlie threw the first pitch, I caught the first pitch. You look on the paper, and it's kind of like, hey, the Marlins playing in Florida. It was good.
My wife, Kathy, and I were sitting right behind home plate, down in the batter's box, and got a little teary-eyed, walking over and hugging David, and then seeing Carl's flag out there. It was an emotional time to get to that one moment. That was the moment, when he threw that pitch, we had done it.
From that moment on, the Marlins gave the sellout crowd of 42,000 an opening day for the archives, featuring one first after another.
This is great. They're already looking for the first strikeout as if it's a Nolan Ryan mowdown coming up here. Oh, and he's punched out. Frank Coley called the pitch on the outside corner. And the Marlins have won the World Series. There's one out. Strike three. The Marlins have won another World Series. And Pose was 397. Ground ball off the glove of Hershiser. Reed adjusts. Karras cannot come up with it. And your first base runner for the Florida Marlins, Scott Pose. Rips up the middle. Pass off him into center field. Pose will stop at second base. So there is your first hit for the Florida Marlins. Brett Barbary. 2-0 pitch to Opperman. He hits it to center field. Back goes Pose. Still going back. Oh, and he makes the catch in front of the 434 sign. The crowd on its feet as Scott Pose just kept running back and flagged down the long drive by Opperman. 2 down. Got your night. 6-3 Florida.
We come in here opening day, everything is perfect, a beautiful day. That was just a dream come true that day. Everything went great. Charlie got the win. The team got the win. It was a good day.
It was a very relieving thing for me. You know, when you get that first win, especially with a first-year franchise team, and especially at home, and it was opening day, so you could sit back and you could take a real deep breath, and I did in that game.
Did you have fun?
Yes, I did. After the last out was made.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One step was...
Still flushed from the excitement of playing their first game, the Marlins packed up on April 12th for their first West Coast swing. First stop, San Francisco for the Giants home opener, which meant still another set of opening day jitters. But if the Marlins were nervous, they didn't let on. They passed their first road test convincingly, rallying from a 3-run deficit when Benito Santiago came up in the 6th and delivered a first.
That ball is gone, and we are tied. Benito Santiago has just blasted the first home run in Marlins history.
I went home that day and I go like, wow. I was the one that hit the first homer here, so I just want that to happen so when my kids growing up, I can say, hey kid, at least I do this, and I have to be proud.
The Marlins had reason to be proud. Though they lost the opener in 11 innings, they played competitively in the 3 games, tagging Giant pitchers for 23 hits and 6 runs. But even with a promising start, life in the majors can seem daunting to an expansion team. Realizing that, the Marlins peppered their cast with experienced players who brought to the team talent, leadership, and the intangibles that can only come with the travels of time.
As far as leadership, I think Walt Weiss is definitely a leader. He just leads by example. He's definitely a professional and knows how to go about his business. Brian Harvey's the same way. Orestes Estrada is, consummate professional. There's a lot of guys on here that lead by example, and they're just good human beings.
Charlie Huff brought with him 23 years of Major League experience and more than 200 wins. At 27, Jack Armstrong already had World Series experience. So did Dave Magadan, who played on the '86 World Champion Mets. But more than any other player on the Marlins, shortstop Walt Weiss, a veteran of 4 division winners, proved to be indispensable.
Well, you mentioned about how much a guy means to a ball club. Well, Walt Weiss, just his leadership alone and just his presence in the clubhouse can mean so much to a young ball club.
The young players, and for that matter, the veteran players, I think are inspired by the way he handles himself when he walks through the door.
He gives it his all every day.
Walt Weiss is pretty intense. I mean, when he straps it on, he's ready to go.
Walt Weiss charges, gotta hurry. Got him.
I didn't realize he's as good a player as he is.
Here's a shot, great play, and the only play is at first by Weiss.
Walt Weiss is a leader. Walt Weiss is a gamer. He goes out there, plays day in and day out. He plays under any circumstances. He's had his bumps and bruises. He is the glue of the infield and had a very impressive year for us.
I think I learned from some great players over in Oakland how to go about playing the game. Some great veterans, guys like Conine Lansford and Eckersley and Bobby Welch and Stewart. You can go on and on. But I think I learned well from those guys, and I'm not one that's going to go out and give orders, but I think the best way to go about things is to go out there and play hard every night. I think that rubs off on the rest of the guys.
With an adventurous blend of veterans and rookies making their way together, the Marlins went to Colorado in late April for the historic meeting of baseball's 2 newest expansion teams. The Marlins lost the series opener, but held on for a 2-1 victory in Game 2. Then, in the 4th inning of the finale, the Marlins offense erupted.
And it's up the middle, and here comes Weiss, here comes Carr, 2-0. And here is a shot out over the shortstop's head. Santiago comes home. Conine comes home, 4-0, Florida.
For Rockies manager Don Baylor, the worst was yet to come. Junior Felix stepped to the plate with a hot bat, the bases loaded, and another piece of Marlins history in the making.
Make sure it's your pitch. And a fly ball into left. Way back, way back, way back. Grand slam home run!
Did I call it? Take that 3-0 pitch and let it fly.
The first Grand Slammer.
The Marlins were flying high and mile high. They took 2 of 3 and headed to Cincinnati with newfound confidence and took advantage of every opportunity.
In comes Espy. He can't get it. It's through his legs. It's going to go all the way to the wall. And the Marlins have taken a 4-3 lead.
Florida split the 2 games in Cincinnati and then marched on to Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium to meet the defending National League champs. But neither the Chops nor the Braves' exalted pitching could cool off the Marlins.
A shot down the line in left. Gets by down there. Hammond is coming home.
The Marlins won the opener. Then in Game 2, Dave Magadan snapped a 7th inning 3-3 tie.
And a long one to the right side. Justice going back, gone! Dave Magadan, and the Marlins are back on top.
Closing in on what would be their 3rd straight victory, Trevor Hoffman faced one last hurdle, Braves slugger David Justice.
Fly ball into left. Coming in is Briley. He's got it. And the Marlins have swept the defending National League champions here. What a wonderful road trip it's been.
In winning 5 out of 7, the Marlins were making a bit of a splash in their first month. So was Jeff Conine. He closed out April with a .320 batting average and opened the month of May red hot, once again against the Rockies.
Bases loaded, 2 out now. Conine hits it! It is gone! Grand slam home run for Conine! Oh, baby, what a blast!
And what a year for Conine. With a chance to play every day, the 27-year-old went on to hit .292 and drive in 79 runs. No wonder he was a fan favorite.
I like Jeff Conine.
Conine looks like a good ball player to me.
I like Conine. He's an iron horse, hasn't missed a game.
He's a very good ball player, very sincere.
He can hit.
Puts his heart and soul into the game, and he plays very hard.
He epitomizes professionalism, man. He gets the job done.
So much so that 3 weeks into the season, Conine was actually leading the league in hitting.
Jeff Conine stepping in. Conine off to a red-hot start.
Conine's the leading batter in the National League today. This is what expansion is for. Jeff Conine was a guy that was, I guess he in AAA was about as far as he was going to get with the Royals. He's getting a chance now to see if he can be a big league hitter.
It is nice to open up the paper, especially my first year in the big leagues, and see my name up there with the likes of some of the other good players in the league. You know, it's a kind of an ego booster, I guess, but I think I still have a lot to improve on.
One of the top rookies. He has swung the bat extremely well for us. He's going to be a player that's part of the Marlins for a long time.
Conine's corner, indeed. That figures to have cobwebs on it. He's going to be here a while.
Everybody talks about Jeff Conine, the Terminator, you know, and he's out there, no smiles, and it's like when he strikes out, he's walking, and he's like, he kind of gives a little turn like, I'll be back. You know, it's just like, Jeff is just like, he's a real good guy, you know. Once you get to know him, and he's really exciting. I share lockers right next to him, and I mean, he's fun guy to play with and a good outfielder.
I've stayed healthy. I've played good defense, which was really important to me. Playing a full year in left field, I've really gotten used to it and feel comfortable out there. There's a lot I can improve on. I think I'd like to cut down on my strikeouts next year and maybe hit for a little more power, which I think will come as I mature as a hitter. But overall, I've got a pretty good feeling about this year.
The feeling in St. Louis on the night of May 15th was that Ryan Bowen and the Marlins could do no wrong.
Here might be a little bit of a run and hit situation. Oh, double play. Hello.
Estrada stuck out the glove. There it was, and all he had to do was take one step to double up Gilkey. How about that?
But on this night, all Bowen really needed was his fastball.
This is the first jam that Ryan Bowen has been in.
I'm sure Marcel's saying, hey, concentrate on these hitters. Don't worry about the runners. Keep that shutout intact.
Struck him out. The first strikeout tonight for Bowen. He has now pitched 12 consecutive scoreless innings.
My job is to do the best I can as long as I can and give my team a chance to win by any means necessary. That game, I didn't have all my pitches working, but the two that I had working were, I think, above average for that day. And Benito called a brilliant, smart game where whatever he put down is what I was thinking. And when you do those type things, it becomes easy.
And he got him. That's a nice way to end it. He struck him out for Ryan Bowen. Happiness as he's congratulated by his catcher and the rest of his teammates.
And with the 8-0 victory, Bowen chalked up the Marlins' first ever shutout. But of course, you can never have enough pitching. And in the case of the Marlins bullpen, they could never have enough of this pitcher, Brian Harvey. For when the call went out, the cool and collected Southern fireballer rode to the rescue time and time again.
I think the key to the whole staff, what success we've had, is Brian. He allows the manager to manage an 8-inning ball game instead of a 9-inning ball game. The guy is one of the best, maybe the best relief pitcher I've ever seen.
I don't care if I have a complete game ever. As long as you have Brian Harvey in the bullpen, I'll pitch 8 innings, he'll come in for 1, and that's pretty much an automatic save, an automatic win for me.
With Harvey's 45 saves, the Marlins had to wonder where they'd be without him. But when they drafted him, no one was sure if he'd remain a Marlin or if he'd come back from arm surgery.
I think it's something that's been overlooked this year. You know, people are recognizing that he's had a great year, but they forget that he missed almost all last year due to arm surgery. And usually it takes a pitcher a full season of pitching just to get back to where he was before. But he's really had a remarkable year.
I didn't even know if I was going to be totally healthy. I didn't know if it was going to take me a month into the season before I would be ready to go, if I'd be ready to go coming out of spring training. But everything went great in spring training. We never had a setback, didn't have to take a day off, didn't have to do anything, and everything was great. And it seemed like the better I threw the ball in spring training, the more I heard, well, you're not going to make it out of spring training because you're going to get traded. So we went through that and try not to let all of it bother you. You know, it gets in your head every now and then, and just try to do the best I could on the field, and things have worked out pretty good.
We would be nowhere near where we're at right now without Brian. Basically the most consistent reliever in Major League Baseball.
To be consistent, you got to be lucky. I mean, because there's going to be days when you go out there and things are not going to be right at all, and hopefully that'll be the days where maybe you get a guy on, boom, they hit the ball right at somebody, you get a double play, you're out of the inning.
And that's a winner. The save for Brian Harvey.
Let him go ahead and throw that ball across the plate. If they hit it, we'll field it. If they don't hit it, well, even better. It's done. This game is ours.
Struck him out! And that's a winner!
The big right-hander sets, and here it comes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Brian Harvey gets him 1, 2, 3.
The part I like about the game, when the crowd gets involved, is always in the 9th inning when Harvey comes in. I'll be in the bullpen and warming up Brian, and he gets ready to go out there and to do his job, and the fans just go nuts.
The fans, they want to see a strikeout. They want to see a punch out here.
Because they know that it's pretty much a lock.
Here comes the pitch. Takes a close strike 3. He caught the inside corner, and this one is in the win column.
Harvey's hot hand helped lead the Marlins on their most successful stretch of the season. It began in San Diego, where the Marlins weren't the only ones to show their stripes. But not even the Padres were prepared for the first hit in 13 years by pitcher Charlie Huff.
There it is! By golly, I'll stand and applaud that.
You bet.
Hey, way to go. Look at the smile. Look at Veda Pinson, and look at Charlie. That's wonderful.
And Charlie also got the 6-2 victory over the Padres. On to Game 2, where Luis Aquino maintained the winning ways of the Florida Marlins pitching staff.
Right back it comes to Aquino. Out to Weiss and over to first. They turn the double play.
The San Diego sweep was complete, with help from Chris Hammond and some sensational Marlins defense.
An opportunity to atone here. Will there be a play at the plate? They are waving. Tuffle to throw from Conine, and he is out.
The Marlins had depth on the mound, maybe more than they thought.
It's always good when the pitching can be consistent from the first starter to the fifth starter. Like start pitcher. Yeah, it's like my family. You hear the headlines say, Marlins staff is doing the job.
Off to Los Angeles, where the bright lights and big city didn't faze Florida one bit, as Walt Weiss came up big for the Marlins once again.
And Weiss hits it into left. And on the move is Conine. And the Marlins lead it 4-3. And look at this bunch.
Florida earned a split and then headed home for 4 games with the Pirates. The Marlins were closing in on the 500 mark, and against Pittsburgh, they took no prisoners. Florida won the first game 4-3, and in Game 2, the big bats broke loose.
Bagging in a high, deep drive to right. Dave Clark back there, out of here. Weiss with a base hit, looping into left center field, and another run comes home. And he rips it to right field. Dave Clark will not be able to get it. Barbary will score. Right up the middle, base hit. Here comes another run. 2 more runs will score.
An 11-3 victory, and in Game 3, it was more of the same.
Fly ball to left. Ronnie Smith back, and the ball is off the top of the scoreboard. The Marlins get 3, and they lead 3-2.
They won this one 5-2, and one night later, a 4-game sweep.
The Marlins fans are loving it, and South Florida is really behind this ball club, and the Marlins have set this town and the color teal on its ear.
When the Marlins swept the Pirates and were going to Chicago that night, they realized they had a shot at 70 wins. They weren't going to lose 100. That was already firm in everybody's minds. And the specialness and the uniqueness of the season really crystallized for everybody. I know it did for me, looking at those fellas as they boarded the plane. They knew they were a little better than their brethren, so to speak, who had come before them.
In June, the only thing hotter than the mercury was starting pitcher Chris Hammond. He won all 8 decisions from the middle of May until the middle of July.
I had great confidence in everything about my pitching. I had confidence that I was going to go out, and if we scored 2 or 3, 4 runs, that I was going to win.
And he struck him out.
He made Witten look foolish.
And he strikes him out. On the changeup. And he struck him out. Yes, strikeout. Marlins leading 4-2. Yes, he struck him out.
When a pitcher is winning games, he has more confidence in all his pitches.
A guy like Ricky Jordan is mostly going to be a pull hitter.
Struck him out. Strikeout number 2.
Struck him out looking. Another 1-2-3 inning for Hammond.
I was throwing pretty much everything for strikes, when and whenever I wanted to throw it.
You hang one up there in his eyes, it's like he can read the label and just go for it.
This should be 2.
And that's a winner. Chris Hammond goes to 10-4 and has now won 8 in a row.
Hammond's pitching was a must, but his bat was a plus, especially on this June day in San Diego.
He'll work carefully. Hammond swings the bat pretty well for a pitcher. Line doesn't get out of here. It's gone. A home run for Chris Hammond.
Hammond's homer was the first for a Marlins pitcher, and his 10 wins in the first half ranked third in the National League. Still, life as an expansion team tends to have its share of problems. Just ask the 62 Mets, who lost 120 games, or the 1977 Toronto Blue Jays, whose inaugural game took place in a near nor'easter. And don't forget the 1993 Florida Marlins and a classic rain delay that turned into a battle royale.
Coming down pretty good now. It's supposed to rain at this time of year down in Miami. Well, a good job by the ground crew getting that tarp rolled out as there has been a rain delay. Look how far they have to go to carry it. They're covering the outfield. Now they've got a long way to go to get that tarp on the infield. I would think that there's got to be a better way to do this. Instead of a tarpaulin, they're going to have to respell that and call it a tarp pulling contest. They're on the infield.
And now they are bogged down. I mean, you could see this coming. Heard of Fan Appreciation Day? This could be the first fan participation night, because that's what's needed to get this tarp over on the left side of the infield. What is going on? This is great. They cannot move it. Now they're going to try it again. I'll guarantee you, shallow right is dry as a bone. Now they're running. Now it's a race. They figure if they get enough momentum going, look at this wall of tarp they've got to go through. Looks like a ride at Disney World. The Caterpillar. I wonder if they thought about possibly all of them going to the other end and maybe bringing that part over. I don't see any solution. So they battle through the Caterpillar, and here they come again. The charge of the Wet Brigade. They have a little momentum right now. General George Pickett at a little town in Pennsylvania named Gettysburg had a famous charge, and I'll guarantee you this grounds crew here in Miami charging about as zealously as Pickett's crew. Here it is.
Giving up the frontal attack, and now they're coming in from the
flank. Flank, you got it. This is a flank attack right here. The frontal didn't work. You saw the volley stop them.
Here we go.
Earlier.
They've made it.
Look at this. They're going to make it, and it stopped raining completely. It has stopped. Oh, this is wonderful. Well, we could send you to War and Peace, but we're going to send you to This Week in Baseball while the ground crew figures out how to get this tarp off.
Now that's entertainment. As for the serious side of things, on June 24th, the Marlins were about to get their first big-name star. Not content to stand pat, General Manager Dave Dombrowski traded with San Diego for the 1992 National League batting champion, Gary Sheffield.
We don't want to trade for veteran players to make us a little bit better in the short run. We have taken a philosophy that we're going to look towards the long run. But in this case, you had a chance to acquire a talented player who could also be with you in the long run.
The way he swings the bat so hard, I mean, I'd be on the bench and I'd be like squinting my back because you know how hard he swings the bat. It's like, ouch!
Though the Marlins gave up Trevor Hoffman for Sheffield, they landed one of the game's bright young stars who would contribute on and off the field, and who is more than happy to come home again.
Well, everybody's just telling me how lucky I am to be going home and with a team like this, and a lot of players that want to come to Florida. That's all I hear. You know, everywhere you go, my friends on other teams or somebody else's friends always saying they want to play in Florida.
Sheffield wasted no time showing his new team what he could do. First, with the glove.
What a play.
Then with the bat. 4 hits in his first 3 games.
A drive. Deep to left. No doubt about it. A long home run for Sheffield. His first as a Marlin.
Right off the bat, Sheffield had a club record 12-game hitting streak and capped a 13-homer first half. And Sheffield was in attendance on July 13th when the Marlins showcased their All-Stars at Baltimore's Camden Yards. Along with Sheffield, Brian Harvey, as the Marlins were proudly represented.
It's gave you one of those emotions where you had the goosebumps down your arm when you heard them introduced to the crowd there at Camden Yards in Baltimore. You look at Brian Harvey and Gary Sheffield run out there in Marlin uniforms. It gives you a sense of pride.
But Sheffield wasn't content just to be at the All-Star game.
Barry Bonds was talking before the game, and he was saying that he was going to win the MVP of the game. And I told him, you got to remember, I'm hitting behind you like that. So I said I was going to win it. And I told him everything he did, I was going to top him.
Sure enough, with Bonds on second in the top of the first, up came Sheffield. Sheffield smashed a 2-run homer that gave the National League an early lead and earned him some hearty congrats from Bonds. And even though the National League went on to lose, Brian Harvey did get the opportunity to show his American League friends the kind of stuff that earned him 25 saves in the first half. As for the stars of the future, may we present Chuck Carr, certainly an all-star in the making.
Who's your favorite player?
Chucky Carr.
Chuck Carr, why? Does he make so many great catches?
Yes.
Line drive, left center field, Chuck Carr!
Who's your favorite Marlin?
Chuck Carr.
Why?
He's fast. He's fast.
Carr is going. Here is the throw, and he is there.
Who's my favorite Marlin? Chucky Carr.
Chuck Carr.
I'd say Chucky Carr, the center fielder.
Carr.
Right. Just the way he plays hard. I like Carr. Right. I like his speed, I like his good arm, that's his natural ability.
And here is the throw, and he is out. A beautiful throw from center field by Chuck Carr.
Chuck Carr is going to be a future star, and he's going to be the leader of this ball club someday. He's pretty exciting, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's a good ball player. Not only that, he's exciting. He makes it that way, and that's his thing.
Running in a league of his own, Carr stole 58 bases and became the first rookie in 7 years to lead the National League in steals. With speed like that, you know he covered a whole lot of ground in center field. And so we now present Chuck Carr's top 10 catches of '93. Number 10, the Are You Kidding? This is Kid Stuff catch.
Lines a ball out into left center. Carr diving. Carr came up with it.
Number 9, the AstroTurf belly flop turnover catch.
Into center field, Carr coming, and he's made another remarkable play.
Number 8, the Do I Have to Do Everything Myself catch.
And into center field, long way for Carr, long way, got there! Oh, what a play by Carr!
Number 7, the run, skip, and into the fence catch.
Brian Harvey, instead they get Trevor Hoffman.
Here is Chuck Carr on the run. Oh, he made the catch! Oh, what a dandy!
Number 6, the How Dare You Try to Hit Anything Past Me catch.
Line drive, left center field, Chuck Carr! A great catch, Chuck Carr!
Number 5, the Ouch, I forgot we were on AstroTurf catch.
And Chuck Carr! Oh, boy, what a catch!
Number 4, the Don't Look Now, but I'm in right field catch.
A drive here out into right center. Carr with another great catch.
Number 3, the Excuse Me, I Thought I Was the Only One Out Here catch.
Right here, he's still in a good hitting situation.
Well, he strung that ball well, and that ball is going to be... Oh, what a catch. What a catch by Chuck Carr. Son of a gun.
Wow, did he go get that ball?
Number 2, the I Would Have Been an Acrobat If I Were a Ball Player catch.
Into center field, and Carr on the run, on the run, on the run. Oh, what a catch! That ball tailing away from him, and how he caught up to it, I will never know.
Number 1 is a tie between the It's So Fantastic It's Been Translated into 10 different languages catch. And the other number 1 best catch, the Don't Worry, I Used to Be a Stuntman catch.
Here's a fly ball that is going to... Oh, my goodness! What a tremendous catch by Carr. Sliding across the AstroTurf here in St. Louis to make a remarkable grab.
Good defense wasn't limited to center field. The Marlins were well stocked in the glove department and played solid defense all year long.
Geronimo tests Estrada. Nice play. Can he finish it? Yes.
An outstanding play by Estrada.
And a great stop by Weiss. Can he make it in time? Yes. Sheffield backhands, makes a fine play.
Fly ball, Carr in right center. Second baseman Barberé goes out and makes a great play.
Well, you said it earlier. If he gets his glove on it, you're usually out.
And Walt Weiss flags this one down. Can he get him? Yes.
And he is out. Pena coming home. Here's the throw. They got him. And it is Whitmore sliding in there to make the play. Renteria, double play.
Deep short. The throw well. Oh, man. Sheffield. Oh, what a play.
Conine with his back against the wall.
Yeah, nice play. Wow, Barberé.
Riley racing over and makes a beautiful catch. Santiago makes the play.
What a tremendous play by Whitmore.
Whoa, look at that. And he held on to it.
For Florida manager Rene Lachemann, the Marlins' reliable defense made his job a lot easier. But Lachemann had another ace in the hole as well, his bench. And as every platoon player proved, This was a team of 25 players, each making a contribution.
We knew our role coming into spring training. We support the team, and when we get called upon, that's when we have to perform.
Mulholland delivers, fly ball, well hit left field. This one could go. It does! Wave it by Henry Carroll.
The opportunities don't come that often, but just getting into play is the funnest part about playing this game. Obviously, when we get in, that's when we get to, hopefully get to shine.
NATO, the pitch. Line drive right field. It's a base hit. Watch White. He's got a chance to score. Here's the relay. The third of the plate. The Marlins. The win. The Marlins win. NATO doubled down the right field line.
While some Marlins came off the bench to deliver, others, like Richie Lewis, came out of the bullpen to offer their prowess in a pinch, like in this game against Houston in late August.
Richie Lewis, his first major league hit, win the game in the 13th inning, 5-4.
When opportunity came knocking for Mitch Lydon in his first ever at-bat, he answered with a blast.
There's a drive, way back. It might be. It is. Out on to Waveland Avenue.
First major league swing for Mitch Lydon, and when you've spent 10 years in the minor leagues, that one had to feel mighty good.
The Marlins' main secret weapon was Rich Renteria, who spent the better part of 12 years in the minors and most recently in the Mexican Leagues.
When the Marlins called me this year, it was going to be my last chance. I'm 31 years old and I have a family and I have to move on with my life. And thank God things have worked out. They saw me there and they used me here and here I am.
Renteria made the most of his part-time role. He played in 103 games and gave his all every time out.
I think it's reflective now to the situation I'm in that I have to pull my own weight. I have to be responsible for my own actions. I have to contribute to the whole once again.
Oh, that one's smashed right over the top of the board. That is Rich Renteria's first major league home run. For anybody you say deserves to hit one and enjoy it, this guy overcame some tremendous odds to get back to the big leagues.
Yes, he did. He plays the game hard every day, no matter if he comes in the 8th or 9th inning, the pinch hitter, if he's starting. He may not have the ability as a Gary Sheffield, but he plays twice as hard as anybody I've ever seen play the game. He works at it in practice. He does everything good.
My goal is to make sure that when I leave this game, that people will say, he worked hard, and he contributed, and he was part of something that helped us succeed. When I continue to play ball or go into something else, it's going to go on, and that's something that I'm thankful to my parents for instilling in me.
On August 27th, the visiting San Francisco Giants were victimized by another Marlin on the comeback trail, Orestes Estrada.
Oh, that is trouble. Hit deep to right and gone. A 3-run homer by Orestes Estrada to make it 6-2 Florida. Oh, Estrada just hit another one. Orestes Estrada with his second home run of the night. Estrada having a good week in one night. What an amazing story.
Only 1 year earlier, the Big O was playing for the Cebu Lions in Japan. But after slugging 154 homers in 4 seasons, Estrada came home and got a second chance at the majors with the Marlins.
It was tough because I didn't know what to expect from the beginning. I just kind of took it day by day, really, and as the season started, there was a lot of distraction, a lot of media attention, and it has been just all year long for this team because of the uniqueness and the history-making of it. So, and I got caught a lot in the middle of it because of the Latin part of it, the Japan part of it, and being from South Florida. So it was distracting at first, and it cost me a little bit.
Though Estrada was a hitting sensation in Japan, he had his problems making the adjustment to major league pitching.
He's a guy that's had a lot of pressure over here, and he's been able to deal with it the best way he knows how, and which is, I think, is great. He go into a room, have his privacy, go out and read books to relax his mind, and he's bounced back very well for this ball club.
To be sure, after hitting 7 first-half homers, the Big O came back with 13.
And here's one into left, and it is gone! This man has found his stroke.
By the 3rd and 4th month, I really took off, and the second half turned out to be very good for me.
He's going to end up with 20-something home runs and probably close to 90, 95 RBIs, and that's an outstanding year.
A bright future for the Big O. As the first long season wore on, several of the Marlins appeared to lose a step here and there.
It seems like some guys aren't used to playing 160, 150 games during the season, and that might be wearing on some guys, but it's just tough on a body to do that.
It's not easy with an expansion club, day in, day out. Early in the year it might be, but late in the season. And one thing you'll still see our club playing late in September, you'll see them playing hard.
In fact, the Marlins proved themselves such worthy competitors, they wound up playing 62 one-run games, the most of any team in the National League.
I can't recall one day when I would go through the clubhouse and these guys would be down. I think Renee Latzman and the coaching staff did a terrific job of making sure that these guys came ready and thinking they can win any ball game they went into.
There's always something out there that can drive you, and sometimes it just comes down to pride. You know, if there's no other goals to shoot for, you try to go out and do well for yourself and play with integrity and pride. It is an important period for this team to see what the future holds.
And the future does look bright, especially with hometown product catcher Charles Johnson on the horizon. Promising outfielder Nigel Wilson was the #1 expansion draft pick. And then there's pitcher Pat Rapp, who provided a spark for the Marlins when he was called up late in the season.
And he got him.
A no-hitter was one of the minor league highlights for the Marlins this year, courtesy of Elmira's Andy Larkin. And the Marlins Class A team won the title in its first season of play. So you've got to figure there are good times ahead.
Everything is positive. We've got good people. They're being allowed to do their job, and I think we're going to be very successful, a lot quicker than expected, and for a real long time.
From opening day.
These are what everybody's looking for in this town. 2 tickets.
Through the middle of the season.
43,000 plus standing, going wild here.
Right up to October, a romance blossomed in South Florida between the Marlins and their fans. Both the 3 million who turned out to cheer them on and the many millions more throughout the state and the country who fell in love with this first-year team.
You sit in the stands and you close your eyes, you basically could tell what happened the whole game because they cheer on every strike, they cheer on outs, they cheer on good plays. It's just a very energetic crowd.
Those fans out there have been so good. The day is behind you every day.
We draw 40,000 people a night. They get excited. They let us know when we're going good.
They've been great. They really made, our season like this because them coming out and, supporting us like this.
There was certainly no lack of spirit, especially among the ever-present and ever-enthusiastic Bleacher Brigade.
Excitement of the crowd and the enthusiasm for this team is just wonderful.
We're born in Florida, and we just love them, and we're so excited that we have a team.
What a wonderful place to be playing ball. How can you beat this?
The weather's great, the people are great. The stadium's great, parking's great. And the baseball's great, too. It's just exciting to come to the ballpark, and the Marlins put out a good effort every night.
It's great, and it's great. It's delightful. We're having a wonderful time, and I think everybody I spoke to loves it.
Fans of South Florida had to pinch themselves to believe it. They finally had a team of their own, and their hearts belonged to the Marlins. But make no mistake, this marriage of a team and its fans is destined to last a long, long time.
It's been very rewarding for us to see how South Florida has taken to the team, and it gives us a lot of personal satisfaction. And if I could look everyone in South Florida in the eye, I'd say thanks a lot, South Florida.
As the Marlins look back on 1993, they will do so with a sense of pride in knowing they played their hearts out. They won the respect of the National League and captured the fancy of South Florida. It was a great beginning, a summer of modest miracles, of fun times, and of growing pains. The first season is never so much about winning and losing as it is about building a future. Carl Barker would be proud to see what his vision has come to. And as the year of firsts takes its place in history, the Marlins know this is only the beginning.
A pretty good season for the team and a pretty good season for baseball, because I think everybody's been pretty excited about the Marlins. I think we've captivated an audience. I think we've surprised a lot of people, and I hope it's a special memory for everybody that was involved in it.
It's been great. The move across to South Florida to be the first team, to be part of history. It's something I can tell my kids. It's something I can tell my grandchildren. It's something I can keep with me for the rest of my life.
We got a special group of people that have done a tremendous job. The togetherness and the feeling that, hey, we're part of something that's special, and this is special.
Only 25 guys can say that they're on the opening day roster, or even they're on the closing day roster of the inaugural 1993 Florida Marlins.
For all of us, it's brought a lot of camaraderie. It's brought a lot of emotions, brought a lot of people close together. And I think that after the first year, you sort of close a chapter of the book because you're going to start a new venture in year two. Sometimes when I run around the stadium at noontime and I take my lunch break and go for a jog, I look up in center field and I see the jersey number 5 that says Barger on it. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. His presence is with us. He's not, but his presence is. And I know that there's many times this past year that he would smile down and look at us and be happy from what's taken place and say, way to go, as we won a ball game, or we accomplished something. There'll be a feeling of all of that, and then a close of that chapter, because you know year two is a whole different venture for you.